부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Busan Worldwide with Annie Mun. BeFM 부산영어방송.
It's not about the books everyone knows, but the stories found in books that only I know. And nowadays, many people are captivated and have fallen in love with the charm of independent publications. And a special festival where you can discover independent publications in Busan is taking place this weekend. So if you love books, how about a weekend book adventure to an independent bookstore? 네, 책을 좋아하시는 분이라면 이번 주말 독립서점 나들이 어떠세요? This is Busan Worldwide, and I'm your host, Annie Mun. Welcome to Busan Worldwide on this Friday morning. It is December 8th today. And hello, listeners. As always, I'm your temporary host filling in for Haeyeon. We made it to Friday, and I've learned so much hosting in just the span of the past 4 days. Fifth day today. It was filled with nerves, excitement, and even a little bit of intrigue. And aside from hosting, I've also learned a ton from the interview and correspondent report topics. And I definitely do hope that you're taking away as much as I am. Also, the weather only seems to be getting oddly warmer, but I do want to suggest we enjoy these higher temperatures as we technically have just 2 weeks until the official first day of winter. That's December 22nd. The weekend also looks like it will be quite pleasant. So I'm curious, listeners, do you guys have any good plans for the weekend? Maybe to the bookstore? Well, speaking of weekend plans, tomorrow and Sunday, the first Mouse Book Fair featuring 125 independent publishing creators from across the country will be held at KTNG 상상마당 in Samyeon. So the book fair is organized by 16 prominent artists active in various areas, such as independent bookstores, publishing, visual arts, and music here in the Busan and Gyeongnam regions. With over 100 independent publishing creators participating, this large-scale event is the first of its kind in Busan. And it's named Mouse Book Fair. The event chose mouse as its representative character to symbolize all of these small and precious stories that are out there. And in an era where anyone can become a creator, venturing into independent publishing to become an author with one's own content can be quite a rewarding experience. 네, 독립출판 축제에서 나만 아는 이야기를 만나는 기쁨이 쏠쏠할 것 같습니다. All right, listeners, thank you for tuning into our show today. The time is now 11:07. Let's do our usual quick rundown of what we have prepared for today's show. So we have our main segment, the interview, coming up in just a moment, where we will speak with Mr. Park Sun-wook, the Secretary General of the Community Chest of Korea's Busan branch. This will then be followed by Global Buzz Busan, where we keep you in the loop of the latest going on here in Busan. Then we'll round out the show with our weekly Friday special, that's News Insights, to hear about Busan-related issues from reporter Byun Eun-sem of Busanilbo. And as always, we are live streaming on YouTube, so search for 부산영어방송 or BeFM and join our live stream. Come say hello, leave your thoughts on today's show. From Busan to the world, Busan Worldwide, 오늘의 더 인터뷰 라이브로 만나보겠습니다. As we continue to head into the colder parts of the winter season, sharing programs to look out for as well as care for our neighbors continues. So on the first day of December, the Hope 2024 sharing campaign, or 희망 2024 나눔 campaign, began. And this campaign will run from December 1st all the way to January 31st of next year. So the goal for this year is to raise 10.86 billion won, and for every 18.6 million won collected, the temperature on the Fruit of Love temperature tower, or 사랑의 온도 탑, will rise by 1 degree, which will then eventually reach the target. And joining us today is Park Sun-wook, Secretary General of Busan Community Chest of Korea. 오늘 박선욱 부산 사랑의 열매 사무처장과 얘기를 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요, 사무처장님.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요. All right, so every December, the Busan Community Chest of Korea, which we affectionately know as 사랑의 열매, or Fruit of Love, runs the Hope Sharing Campaign. So first, could you briefly introduce the activities of the Busan Community Chest of Korea? 우리가 친근하게 사랑의 열매라고 알고 있는 부산사회복지공동모금회에서 매년 12월이면 희망 나눔 캠페인을 진행하고 있죠. 그래서 우선 부산사회복지공동모금회에서 어떤 활동들을 하는지 간략히 소개 부탁드립니다.
네, 먼저 연말 연시면 TV에서 사랑의 열매를 많이 보셨을 거예요. 근데 사랑의 열매의 의미를 잘 모르시는 것 같아서 잠시 말씀드리면 그 빨간색 세 개의 열매는 나, 가족, 이웃을 상징하고 있고요. 녹색 하나로 모아진 줄기는 더불어 따뜻한 사회를 만들어 가자는 약속을 의미하고 있습니다. 저희 사랑의 열매로 상징되는 사회복지 공동모금회는 지난 1998년도에 사회복지 공동모금회법에 의해서 설립된 우리나라를 대표하는 법정 모금 기관 및 배분 전문 기관입니다. 그래서 부산 시민 여러분께서 소중하게 모아주신 성금을 소외계층 그리고 다양한 사회 문제 해결을 위한 사업으로 지원하고 있습니다.
네, 설명 감사합니다. So many of us might be familiar with fruit of love, but he did explain the meaning. So if you see the little symbol, there are 3 red dots, and they each symbolize myself, our family, and our neighbors. And the color red equals to love, and it also means to create a warm community around us. And you might find the Busan Community Chest of Korea just a bit unfamiliar, but it is called Fruit of Love. And the Busan Community Chest of Korea is the leading legally mandated fundraising organization here in South Korea, which was established in 1998 under the Community Chest of Korea Act. And they support various programs to help vulnerable communities and also address social issues with valuable donations from the citizens of Busan, also social organizations and businesses. Now, you took your position in Busan in March this year, and it mentioned that this is your first time working here in Busan. So how has your experience been living here? 사무처장님은 올해 3월에 부산에 취임하셨는데 부산 근무가 처음이라고 하던데요. 혹시 여기에서의 생활이 어떠신가요?
네. 어서와 부산 생활은 처음이지. 네, 부산 생활 10개월에 접어들고 있습니다. 먼저 제가 그 전에 있던 곳이 강원도였는데 강원도 하면 우리나라에서 시베리아하고 비견될 만큼 아주 추운 곳이죠. 근데 이거 부산에 오니까 날씨만 따뜻한 것뿐만 아니라 정말 가슴이 따뜻한 시민들이 많이 계셔서 매우 기쁘고 영광스럽고 그렇습니다. 특히 부산에 오니까 한국형 노블레스 이주를 실천하고 계시는 아너 소사이어티 회원분들이 340명이 넘고 있습니다. 그래서 우리나라에서 인구가 가장 많은 경기보다도 많고요. 그다음에 기업의 사회적 가치를 더하는 나눔 명문 기업도 전국에서 가장 많습니다. 그만큼 정말 따뜻한 분들이 많이 계신 곳인 것 같습니다.
네, 환영합니다. 부산의 겨울은 뭔가 강원도에서에 비하면 좀 아무것도 아닌 것으로 느껴질 것 같은데요. So he explains that he has been here for about 10 months now. And before this, he was living in Gangwon province, where it is known for being one of the coldest regions in South Korea, often referred to as Siberia. And coming to the warm southern city of Busan, especially with the warmth of generosity in giving, it has been quite a great honor. And he's had the privilege of working alongside many generous donors who have warm hearts. And in Busan, they have over 340 members of the Honor Society who practice the Korean version of noblesse oblige. And that's more than the population of Gyeonggi province, which is actually larger than Busan. Moreover, Busan has the highest number of renowned sharing enterprises in the country, with 64 companies contributing to social value. So that's why he can't help but think that Busan is good and also a city of sharing excellence. Now, I understand that you have mainly worked in Gangwon province until now. So what kind of activities were you primarily involved in there? 그동안 강원도에서 쭉 근무를 하셨다고 들었는데 거기서는 주로 어떤 활동을 하셨나요?
네. 제가 대부분 강원도에서 근무했지만 사랑의 열매가 전국적인 조직입니다. 그래서 중앙회, 중앙본부, 그다음에 전남 지회에서도 근무를 했었습니다. 사랑의 열매에서 활동은 전국 지회 한 활동은 대동소이한데요. 강원도에는 특히 겨울에는 폭설, 그리고 봄에는 산불,
네.
그다음에 태풍이라든가 호우 피해 같은 자연 재해들이 자주 발생해서 재해로 시리에 빠져 있는 이재민들을 위한 특별 모금을 많이 진행했었습니다. 또 모금만 한 것이 아니라 현장에 나가서 복구 활동을 하는 봉사자들을 지원하는 사업도 진행을 했었는데요. 또 강원도는 접경 지역이다 보니까 군부대가 상대적으로 많이 있습니다. 근데 의외로 장병분들이나 그다음에 우리나라를 지키신 호국 영웅분들이 경제적으로 어려움을 겪고 있는 분들이 상당히 많으세요. 그래서 군부대와 함께 이분들을 돕기 위해서 연간 한 10억 규모로 모금도 하고 지원하는 일이 기억에 남습니다.
네, 정말 다양한 방면에서 도움을 필요하신 분들께 힘이 되어주고 있는 것 같아요. So he explained that he mostly worked in Gangwon, but since 사랑의 열매 is a nationwide organization, he also worked at the central level, at the headquarters, and with the Cheonnam branch. The activities carried out by 사랑의 열매 are quite consistent across the country, and in Gangwon, they often had to conduct special fundraising campaigns due to the frequent disasters. So that's heavy snowfall in winter, wildfires in spring, as well as typhoon and heavy rain damage. So these campaigns aimed to support disaster victims who were in distress. And additionally, they not only raised funds, but also organized volunteer activities and projects to directly assist in recovery efforts on the ground. And also, Gangwon province is located near the border, so there is a relatively large amount of military bases in the region. But surprisingly, there were many military personnel and veteran families facing economic hardships. So to assist these individuals, they collaborated with military bases and conducted fundraising activities, raising approximately 1 billion won annually to provide support. All right. Well, as always, the Love Temperature Tower has been installed in Songsangyang Square for this year, and the team will be working diligently to reach the 100-degree mark. The goal for this year is set at 10.86 billion won, but how was this target amount determined? 올해도 역시 송상영 광장에 사랑의 온도탑이 설치됐고 100도를 향해서 열심히 모금 활동을 하실 텐데요. 올해 목표가 108억 6천만 원이라고 하는데 이 목표액은 또 어떻게 정해진 건가요?
네. 108억 6천만 원이라는 목표 금액이 상당히 많게 느껴질 수도 있을 텐데요.
네.
저희가 목표액을 정하는 기준은 경제적 그리고 사회 전반적인 상황들을 종합적으로 고려하고 있습니다. 그 중에서도 어려운 이웃들에게 지원해야 할 재원이 예산이 얼마나 필요한가를 우선적으로 검토하고 있습니다. 장기간 경기 침체로 국내 경기가 무척 어려운 상황인데요. 그럼에도 불구하고 어려운 이웃들에게 꼭 필요한 부분을 지원하기 위해서 지난해 모금 목표액보다 1억 6천만 원 증가한 108억 6천만 원으로 목표액을 설정하였습니다.
네, 모두가 힘을 모아서 꼭 달성할 수 있었으면 좋겠네요. So the target amount of 10.86 billion won may seem quite substantial, but when setting this goal, they actually considered not only the economic situation, but also the overall societal context. And among these factors, their primary focus is on determining how much funding is needed for our neighbors in need. And the organization is also currently facing a challenging economic environment due to a prolonged economic downturn, yet it prioritizes assessing the essential needs of those in difficult circumstances. And despite these challenges, they reviewed the requirements of our disadvantaged neighbors and set the goal at 10.86 billion won, which is actually 160, million won higher than last year's fundraising target. Now, where will the funds collected through the Hope 2024 sharing campaign be used? 이번 희망 2024 나눔 캠페인으로 모인 성금은 또 어디에 쓰이게 되나요?
네. 많은 분들이 가장 궁금해하시고 가장 중요한 부분입니다. 보내주신 소중한 성금은 전액 어려운 이웃들을 위해 지원하고 있습니다. 경제적 어려움을 겪고 있는 위기 가정에 생계비, 의료비 등 긴급 지원과 또 취약계층에게는 더 열악하고 대응하기 어려울 수 있는 사회 문제 해결을 위한 사회 안정망 지원, 그리고 아동, 장애인, 노인 등 사회적 약자를 위한 돌봄 지원과 누구나 건강한 사회 구성원으로 성장할 수 있도록 교육 자립 지원 등 다양한 사업으로 지원하고 있습니다.
그렇군요. So it explains that the valuable donations they receive are entirely used to support our less fortunate neighbors here in Busan. So these funds are allocated for various purposes, including emergency assistance for crisis households facing economic difficulties, such as living expenses and medical bills. They also support the social safety net for vulnerable groups who face more severe challenges and have limited access to social support. And additionally, the funds are used for caregiving support for children, people with disabilities, and the elderly, as well as educational support to help everyone become healthy and independent members of society. So many people are concerned that charitable donations may decrease this year due to the challenging economic situation, that's both domestically and internationally. So what are your expectations regarding this? 올해 국내외 어려운 경제 상황으로 인해 기부 활동이 좀 더 줄어들지 않을까 염려하는 분들도 많은데 이걸 어떻게 또 예상하십니까?
네, 물가도 오르고 경기가 계속 안 좋다 보니까 경제가 어렵다라는 말씀들을 많이 하시는데요. 캠페인을 시작하는 저 역시 마음이 많이 무겁습니다. 경기 침체로 인해서 사회적인 전반적인 분위기가 조금은 많이 침체되어 있는 것 같은데요. 다만 우리 부산 시민 여러분들이 부산 지역에 대한 애정이 남다르고 또 어려울 때일수록 서로 돕는 부산만의 따뜻한 정서가 있는 것 같아서 이번 캠페인에도 부산의 나눔의 힘을 다시 한번 보여주실 수 있을 거라고 믿고 있습니다.
네, 맞습니다. 부산의 정을 뭔가 무시할 수 없을 것 같아요. 그리고 올해도 열심히 힘을 모아주시길 바랍니다. So he explains that given the prevalent talk about the tough economic conditions, there's also a lot of doubt as they initiate this campaign. And it appears that the social atmosphere has somewhat frozen over due to the economic downturn. However, he does believe that the people of Busan have this deep-rooted sense of solidarity and a unique spirit of helping each other out, especially in difficult times. Even when facing adversity, Busan residents have a special affection for the region. So he definitely has faith that Busan will once again demonstrate the power of sharing and supporting one another. All right, so this year, the Busan Fruit of Love has been particularly busy with fundraising activities due to the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. So can you tell us about the activities of Busan Fruit of Love related to this? 올해는 튀르키예 시리아 지진으로 인해 성금 모금으로 좀 특히 바쁘셨다고 하는데 이와 관련해 부산 사랑의 열매에서는 또 어떤 활동을 하셨나요?
네, 부산 사랑의 열매는 튀르키예 지진 피해 지역의 복구 활동과 이재민들을 지원하기 위해서 지난 2월 한 달 동안 특별 모금을 진행했는데요. 너무나 감사하게도 정말 많은 분들이 함께해 주셔서 전국에서 가장 많은 9억 4,900여만 원을 모금했습니다. 모인 성금은 전액 국제개발협력, 민간협의회를 통해 지진 피해 구호 및 복구 작업에 지원을 하였고요. 그리고 올해는 또 호우 피해로 인해서 국내에도 어려움이 있었죠. 그래서 7, 8월에는 호우 피해 지역 주민들을 지원하기 위해 또 한 번의 특별 모금을 진행하였습니다. 이때에도 정말 많은 분들이 함께해 주셔서 5억 9천여만 원을 모금해서 제9호협회를 통해 이재민들에게 전달해 드렸습니다. 이 외에도 연중에도 어려운 이웃분들이 많이 있지 않습니까? 그래서 다양한 기부 참여 프로그램을 통해서 11월 말 기준으로 총 224억 7천만 원을 모금했습니다. 이 모금액은 전년 동기 대비 105%를 조금 상회하고 있습니다.
그럼 연중 지속적으로 진행되는 그 다양한 기부 참여 프로그램도 소개 부탁드립니다.
예, 너무 다양해서
네.
시간을 주시면 잠시 소개해드려도 되겠습니까?
해주세요.
예. 자영업자분들이 정기적으로 기부하는 착한 가게가 있고요. 그리고 가족 단위로 정기 기부하는 착한 가정, 그리고 직장인들의 급여의 일부를 정기 기부하는 착한 일터, 반려동물 이름으로 기부하는 착한 펫, 그리고 개인이 1년에 100만 원 이상 기부하는 나눔 리더, 동해회 등 각종 모임에서 3년 이내에 1,000만 원 이상 기부하는 나눔 리더스 클럽, 그리고 기업이 3년 이내에 1억 원 이상 기부하는 나눔 명문 기업, 그리고 개인이 5년 이내에 1억 원 이상 기부하는 아너 소사이어티 등으로 참여가 가능합니다.
네. So he explains that Busan Fruit of Love conducted a special fundraising campaign for 1 month in February to support the recovery efforts as well as provide aid for earthquake victims in the affected regions of Turkey. They are grateful to say that many people joined in and were able to raise a total of approximately 949 million won, which is the highest amount collected nationwide. The funds raised were channeled through the Korea NGO Council for Overseas Development Cooperation to support earthquake relief as well as recovery operations. And additionally, this year they faced difficulties in South Korea, of course, due to the heavy rains and flooding. So to support residents affected by the heavy rains in July and August, they conducted another special fundraising campaign. And once again, thanks to the generosity of the many people, they raised approximately 590 million won and then delivered it to the disaster victims through the Korea Disaster Relief Association. Now, apart from these specific campaigns, they have various donation participation programs throughout the year. And as of late November, they have raised a total of approximately 22.42 billion won to support our less fortunate neighbors. And this surpasses the previous year by more than 105%. He also listed a couple of year-round sharing programs, which include 착한 가게, where small business owners donate regularly, families making regular donations, and then there's 착한 일터, where employees contribute a portion of their salaries. There's also 착한 pet, where donations are made in the names of pets. Sharing leaders for individuals who donate over 1 million won annually. There's also the Sharing Leaders Club for groups or clubs donating over 10 million won within 3 years. There's the Sharing Excellence Enterprises for companies donating over 100 million won within 3 years. And then the Honor Society for individuals donating over 1 billion won within 5 years. So all of these, they welcome the continuous participation of these citizens. Now, I heard that you have a particular area of interest since taking office here in Busan. Could you tell us a bit more about it? 부산의 사무처장으로 취임하시면서 특별히 관심을 두고 있는 분야가 있으시다고요?
네, 그렇습니다. 바로 고위험군 청년을 위한 지원 사업인데요. 아동 보호 시설에서 생활을 하다가 성인이 되면 보호가 종료되어 퇴소하게 됩니다. 퇴소 이후에는 이 청년들이 자립해야 하는 상황이 되는데 자립 준비도 안 되어 있고 또 경제적 결핍 속에서 어려움을 겪는 경우가 많이 있습니다. 이를 위해서 연간 2억 원 규모의 사업을 최대 3년간 지원하고 자립 준비 청년을 위한 온 오프라인 커뮤니티를 마련해서 청년들이 사회 구성원으로서 잘 성장할 수 있도록 지원할 계획입니다. 미래 세대인 우리 청소년들이 앞으로도 부산 시민들의 따뜻한 응원에 힘입어서 건강하게 성장할 수 있기를 기대합니다.
네. So it explains that our guest has a special interest in the support program for high-risk youth. So when youth have lived in high-risk child protection facilities and they become adults, their protective custody actually ends and they are discharged. So after this release, these young adults often find themselves in situations where they must become quite self-reliant, and many of them face difficulties including isolation and financial hardship when they're on their own. So to address these issues, they plan to support a project with an annual budget of 200 million won for up to 3 years. They will also establish online and offline communities to prepare young adults for independence that's aiming to provide them with the support they need to grow into productive members of society. And for the sake of the future generation, our youth, he does hope that citizens of Busan continue offering their warm interest as well as their support. Now, although there has been an increase in donations compared to the past, it still seems like there are many areas where donations are kind of lacking. So what efforts are needed to further activate a culture of donation in our daily lives? 예전에 비해서는 기부가 많아졌다고 하는데 아직까지 부족한 부분이 많은 것 같아요. 그래서 일상에서 기부 문화가 좀 더 활성화되기 위해서는 또 어떤 노력들이 필요할까요?
네, 우리나라는 특히 그 자연재해 등으로 인한 모금, 연말연시, 이웃돕기와 같은 특정한 사건이나 시기가 있을 때에만 일시적으로 기부하는 경우가 좀 많은 편인데요. 기부 문화가 활성화되기 위해서는 지속 가능한 정기적인 나눔 참여가 중요하다고 생각합니다. 기부 방법은 다양한데요. 우선 방송국이나 가까운 곳에 있는 행정복지센터를 방문하시면 이웃돕기 성금 접수 창구가 마련되어 있습니다. 그리고 시중 은행별로 마련되어 있는 사랑의 계좌를 통해서도 나눔 동참이 가능하고요. 가장 손쉽게는 ARS 060-700-0077을 통해서 한 통화당 3,000원씩 동참하실 수 있습니다. 현금뿐만 아니라 쌀, 라면, 연탄 같은 물품 기부도 가능합니다. 언제든지 저희 사무국 전화 051-790-1400번으로 연락 주시면 기부자님께 맞는 기부 방법을 안내 드리도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 올해는 특별히 모바일 기부 플랫폼을 마련했습니다. 스마트폰에 익숙하신 분들은 QR코드와 모바일 앱을 통해서 더욱 손쉽게 이웃 사랑을 위한 기부도 하시고 또 사랑의 온도를 올리는 경험도 할 수 있으니 많은 관심과 참여를 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 저희 부산 영어방송 청취자분들도 함께 해주셨으면 참 좋을 것 같아요. So it explains that in South Korea, many donations tend to be one-time, event-driven contributions, especially in response to natural disasters or during year-end charity activities. To activate a culture of donation, it is quite crucial to encourage sustained regular participation, and there are various ways to donate. So first, you can visit the local welfare centers where donation collection centers are often set up, and additionally, you can use designated bank accounts for donations that are provided by all sorts of different banks. And for a simple donation, you can contribute 3,000 won for each phone call through the ARS line at 060-700-0077. Donations, though, don't have to be limited to cash. You can also donate items like rice or instant noodles. So always feel free to contact their office at 051-790-1400 anytime, and they will actually guide you on the donation method that suits you best. And this year, they have also introduced a mobile donation platform where you can easily participate in acts of charity and also raise the love temperature through QR codes as well as mobile apps. Well, that's going to do it for today's interview with Park Sun-wook, the Secretary General of the Community Chest of Korea's Busan branch. 오늘 더 인터뷰에서는 부산 사랑의 열매 박선욱 사무처장과 다양한 모금 활동과 부산만의 기부 분위기에 대해서 이야기를 나눴습니다. 사무처장님, 오늘 함께해 주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 고맙습니다.
All right, well, we have a song to wrap it up for this segment. This is actually a request from our interviewee. This is With or Without You by U2.
See the stone set in your eyes, see the thorn twist in your side. I'll wait for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate, on a bed of nails she makes me wait, and I wait without you, with or without you, with or without you. Through the storm we reach the shore. You gave it all, but I want more, and I'm waiting for you. With or without you, with or without you, I can't live. With or without you. And you give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give, and you give, and you give yourself away. My hands are tied, the body bruise she got me with, nothing to win and nothing left to lose. And you give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give, and you give, and you give yourself away, with or without you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Busan Worldwide. I'm your host, Annie Mun, covering for Haeyeon. And we just got back from listening to the interview with Park Sun-wook, the Secretary General of the Community Chest of Korea, where he informed us on various ways to donate to our city and those in need. And they come in various forms that can be through your mobile apps or a QR code. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be through food, and also I believe he mentioned briquettes, especially for this cold winter season. So definitely look into it. You can go over to your local bank and look for this little icon here, this little tree, and you'll be able to find out all sorts of ways to help your community, contribute back what you can. It does not have to be a lot. A simple phone call will even do it. Now, for those just tuning in, you can actually re-listen to our first segment, the interview, after the show on BeFM's website, our app, and also our YouTube channel. Now it's time for Global Buzz Busan. It's bringing you various news about Busan as it moves forward day by day to becoming a global city. Busan City and the Busan Research Institute have begun promoting Busan as a global hub city. So Shin Hyun-seok, the director of the Busan Research Institute, announced plans to introduce the Green Smart Busan initiative and the vision of becoming a global hub city, leading carbon neutrality at the 28th UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties, also known as COP28 in Dubai, which is to be held from the 10th. And during COP28, the government will operate a Korean pavilion for promotions, and Busan plans to utilize this opportunity to showcase technologies and policies related to carbon neutrality and green growth, as well as climate change response activities. Now, during the conference, an international seminar will be held jointly, organized by Busan City, Busan Research Institute, and Busan Carbon Neutrality Support Center. And Busan City will present the ongoing Green Smart City 15-minute city policy. Additionally, there are plans to visit Busan's solar power plant, Masdar City, the world's first carbon neutral city, and Dubai's Energy and Water Authority to explore potential applications for here in Korea. And Busan City aims to actively utilize these activities to contribute to specific policies, such as research on Busan's carbon neutral city, the Kadokdo Net Zero City project, and the attraction of a water industry cluster linked to seawater desalination and renewable energy. 네, 지금까지 Global Buzz 부산이었습니다. Now we're going to take a quick song break. This is Dear Santa by One Republic for your Christmas dose.
Dear Santa, make my wish come true. There's only one thing on my list. It's the time of the year when I miss you the most. Sitting next to the fire, the mistletoe. I should be feeling a chill while I'm holding you close, singing carols and drinking cocoa. All the snow outside is falling. I'm here waiting for you, darling. It's all I want this year. Dear Santa, make my wish come true. There's only one thing on my list, to have my baby home for Christmas. Dear Santa, there's nothing I won't do. I don't need a lot, just one wish. Bring my baby home for Christmas. Yeah, baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas. Wrap the presents with bows, put the lights on the tree. Should be jolly in here when sleigh bells ring. So I dream and I hope, wishing by Christmas Eve, we'll be happy and you're here with me. All the snow outside is falling. I'm here waiting for you, darling. It's all I want this year. Dear Santa, make my wish come true. There's only one thing on my list. I want my baby home for Christmas. Dear Santa, there's nothing I won't do. I don't need a lot, just one wish. Bring my my baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas. Oh, bring my baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas.
변은쌤 기자의 News Insights. Now, every Friday, we bring you news insights where we get a detailed scoop on various hot issues going on here in our city of Busan. And to help us with this, we have reporter 변은쌤 from 부산일보 here in the studio. 네, 부산일보 변은쌤 기자와 함께하는 News Insights입니다. 안녕하세요, 기자님.
안녕하세요.
All right. So today we will be hearing about the recent updates in terms of lawsuits, as well as the background on the Stellar Daisy cargo ship sinking that happened back in 2017, which resulted in the tragic death of 22 of its crew members. 여러분 스텔라 데이지호 참사를 기억하시나요? 6년 전 22명의 실종자가 나온 참 안타까운 참사였는데 선사 측 과실이 6년 만에 인정됐다고 하는데 이 내용을 오늘 알아보겠습니다.
네, 2017년 일어난 침몰 사고였던 스텔라 데이지호 참사에 대해서 6년 만에 부산해양안전심판원이 선사 측의 과실을 인정했습니다. 참사 이후 처음으로 나온 정부기관의 공식 견해라서요. 주목이 더욱 많이 쏠리고 있는 상황입니다.
All right, so she explains the Busan Maritime Safety Tribunal has acknowledged the fault of the operator in the sinking accident of the cargo ship Stellar Daisy after 6 years, which is an accident that occurred back in 2017. And this official stance from a government agency, the first since the incident, is drawing significant attention. 네, 그럼 먼저 스텔라 데이지호 참사에 대해서 간략히 설명해 주시죠.
네, 스텔라 데이지호 참사는요. 2017년 3월 31일에 브라질에서 철광석 26만 톤을 싣고 중국 칭다오로 향하던 중에 우루과이 인근 남대 서양에서 침몰한 사건입니다. 당시 배에는 한국인 선원 8명과 필리핀 선원 16명이 타고 있었는데요. 이 사고로 승선원 24명 중에 필리핀인 2명만 구조가 되고 한국인을 포함해서 총 22명이 실종됐습니다.
국내뿐만 아니라 해외에서도 좀 많이 알려진 참사였는데 So she explains that the Stellar Daisy accident occurred on March 31st, 2017 when the vessel carrying 260,000 tons of iron ore from Brazil to Qingdao in China sank in the South Atlantic near Uruguay. And at the time, there were 8 South Korean crew members and 16 Filipino crew members on board. And out of the 24 crew members, unfortunately, only 2 Filipinos were rescued, and the remaining 22, including the South Koreans, went missing in the accident. 정말 끔찍한 사고였어요. 그래서 당시 사고 원인은 혹시 나왔나요?
네, 우여곡절이 좀 많았는데요. 일단 당시에는 현지 접근이 어려워서 어려움을 겪었는데 결국 2019년 사고 현장에서 선체 파편 등을 회수를 하면서 수사에 좀 속도가 났습니다. 침몰 원인으로 밝혀진 사실은 크게 3가지인데요. 우선 스텔라 데이지호가 설계 조건이랑 다르게 화물을 싣고 장기간 운행하는 바람에 그 선체 구조에 손상이 생긴 사실이 확인이 됐고요. 또 하나는 선체 바닥에 빈 공간을 폐기 혼합물 저장 공간으로 불법 전용하는 바람에 부식이 진행됐다는 사실도 드러났습니다. 또 다른 하나는 선체 벽에 중대한 변형 같은 결함이 발생을 했는데 수리가 소홀히 된 점도 당시 확인됐던 점입니다.
그렇군요. So she explains that there were many twists and turns in the Stellar Daisy accident. Initially, it was challenging to access the accident site, leading to difficulties. However, progress was made in the investigation when wreckage and debris were recovered from the site in 2019. The 3 main factors were identified as the causes of the sinking and are as follows. So first, it was confirmed that Stellar Daisy deviated from its design conditions by carrying cargo against the original design and undertaking long voyages, which then led to structural damage in the hull. Second, it was revealed that corrosion had occurred due to the unauthorized use of this empty space in the hull bottom as a sort of storage area for various waste. And lastly, there were significant defects or deformations in the hull wall, and it was confirmed that insufficient repairs were made at the time. 네, 그럼 수사 결과에 따라 처벌받은 사람도 나왔나요?
네, 당시 수사 결과에 따라서 업무상 과실이라고 판단이 됐는데요. 이런 실책 탓에 선체 탱크 부위에 심수가 발생하면서 급격히 기울어져서 침몰한 걸로 결론이 났습니다. 2019년 2월 선사 대표 등 12명이 선박안전법 위반 혐의로 기소가 됐었습니다.
네, so she explains that based on the investigation results at the time, it was determined that there was operational negligence. And due to these mistakes, flooding occurred in the hull tanks, causing the vessel to rapidly tilt and then sink. And in February 2019, the ship owner and 11 others were indicted on charges of violating the Ship Safety Act. 그럼 이번 심판부에 내놓은 판결의 주요 내용은 또 무엇인가요?
네, 부산해양안전심판원은 지난 5일에 스텔라 데이지호 선사인 폴라리스 쇼핑 측에 시정을 명령했습니다. 당시 참사에 대해서 선사의 책임을 처음으로 인정한 건데요. 심판부는 스텔라 데이지호 침몰의 주요 원인으로 지목됐던 기존 3가지 지적들에 대해 대부분 인정했는데 이 내용들은 이제 앞에서 저희가 설명했던 그 3가지 원인들입니다. 그 결과적으로 이렇게 사소해 보일 수 있는 문제가 겹치면서 침몰로 이어졌다고 심판부는 결론을 내렸습니다. 25년 된 낡은 선박에 부실한 관리까지 겹쳐지면서 결국 침몰을 했다는 뜻입니다.
네, so she explains that on the 5th of November, the Busan Maritime Safety Tribunal ordered corrective measures to the shipping company, Polaris Shipping, who is also the operator of Stellar Daisy. And this marks the first time that the shipping company's responsibility for the accident has been acknowledged. So the tribunal largely acknowledged the previously pointed out issues that were identified as major causes of the Stellar Daisy sinking, which were the 3 reasons explained earlier. And in essence, the tribunal concluded that these seemingly minor issues, when combined, did lead to the sinking. And it implies that the sinking occurred due to the overlap of inadequate management on an aging vessel of 25 years. 그럼 이번 심판 결과가 또 어떤 영향이 있을까요?
네, 부산해양안전심판원의 결과는 다른 재판에도 영향을 미칠 것으로 보입니다. 지난해 3월 검찰은 스텔라 데이지호 선사인 폴라리스 쇼핑 선사 김한중 대표 등 7명을 업무상 과실치사랑 업무상 과실 선박 매몰죄 등의 혐의로 기소를 했었는데요. 앞서 2019년 기소에서도 징역 6개월을 선고받고 현재는 대법원의 판결을 기다리던 중이었는데 또 이어서 지난해 또 기소가 된 겁니다. 그 당시 피고인 전 현직 선사 임직원 측은 혐의를 모두 부인을 했는데 이번 판결로 현재 진행되고 있는 형사소송에도 좀 상당히 영향을 미칠 것으로 보입니다.
네, so she explains that the Busan Maritime Safety Tribunal's findings are likely to have an impact on other legal proceedings. In March of last year, the prosecution indicted Kim Won-jung, the CEO of Polaris Shipping and the operator of Stellar Daisy, as well as 6 others on charges of involuntary manslaughter due to professional negligence and involuntary shipwrecking due to professional negligence. So Kim received a 6-month prison sentence in the 2019 trial and is currently awaiting the Supreme Court's ruling. And additionally, new indictments were made last year. And at that time, the defendants, including current as well as former employees of the shipping company, denied all charges. So the recent ruling is expected to significantly influence the ongoing criminal proceedings. 그동안 유족들의 마음고생이 심했을 것 같은데 이번 판결에 대해 유족들의 반응이 또 어떤가요?
네, 유족들도 6년 만에 나온 판결을 반겼습니다. 이날 열린 기자회견에서 유족들은 이번 심판원의 재결을 통해 책임자들에게 합당한 처벌이 내려지길 바란다면서 정부는 심해의 수색을 통해서 미수습자들의 유해를 찾고 또 과학적으로 사고 원인을 다시 밝혀주길 바란다고 밝히기도 했습니다.
네, 그 6년 동안 되게 유족들이 많이 힘들었을 것 같아요. So she explains that the families of the victims have appealed the ruling that came out after 6 years. And during a press conference, the families expressed their hope for appropriate punishment to be given to those responsible through the tribunal's reconsideration. And they also urged the government to conduct a deep-sea search to find the remains of the missing victims and scientifically clarify the causes of the accident once again. 그럼 아직 책임자들에 대해 남아있는 재판들이 있어서 계속 지켜봐야 될 것 같은데 남은 재판들은 또 어떤 내용이죠?
네, 현재 2건의 형사 재판이 진행 중입니다. 앞서서 말씀드렸던 선사의 김한중 대표이사 등 7명이 선박안전법 위반 혐의로 2심에서 징역 6개월을 선고받았고요. 또 이제는 대법원 판결을 기다리고 있는 상황입니다. 또 하나는 이제 김 대표를 비롯한 또 다른 관계자 7명이 업무상 과실 선박 매몰죄 또 업무상 과실치상 혐의로 기소가 돼서 오는 20일에 결심 공판이 열립니다. 근데 또 마침 이번 심판부의 판결이 나와서 이게 어떤 영향을 미칠지 좀 지켜봐야 할 것 같습니다.
네, so currently 2 criminal trials are ongoing. The president of the shipping company, Kim Won-jung, and 6 others were sentenced to 6 months in prison in the second trial for violating the Ship Safety Act, and they are awaiting the Supreme Court's ruling. And additionally, Kim and 7 other individuals, including other executives, face charges of involuntary manslaughter and negligent homicide due to business-related negligence. So the decision trial is scheduled for the 20th, and the outcome of this tribunal will be closely observed for its potential impact. 네, 그럼 오늘 내용 정리하고 마무리하시죠.
네, 스텔라 데이지호 참사가 사고 6년 만에 선사 측 과실이 인정됐습니다. 부산해양안전심판원은 지난 5일 참사와 관련해서 선사 측 과실을 인정하고 또 시정 명령을 내렸는데요. 스텔라 데이지호 참사는 2017년에 중국으로 향하던 중 남대서양에서 침몰했던 사건이죠. 당시 이 사고로 총 22명이 실종됐습니다. 이후에 책임자들을 재판에 넘겨졌지만은 2심에서 징역 6개월을 받고 대법원 판결을 기다리던 중이었는데요. 유족들은 당시의 피해 정도에 비해서 적합한 판결이 아니라면서 울분을 터뜨리기도 했었죠. 이번 심판원의 판결이 앞으로 남은 책임자들의 재판에도 또 어떤 영향을 미칠지 끝까지 살펴봐야 할 것 같습니다.
All right. Well, to sum up today's story, the Stellar Daisy accident, which occurred 6 years ago, has seen the acknowledgement of the shipping company's fault. On December 5th, the Busan Maritime Safety Tribunal recognized the shipping company's fault related to the incident and issued a corrective order. So the Stellar Daisy accident took place back in 2017 when the ship was en route to China and sank in the South Atlantic. And at that time, a total of 22 people went missing. Subsequently, those responsible faced trials, receiving a 6-month prison sentence in the second trial, and are awaiting the Supreme Court's ruling. And families of the victims expressed their frustration, deeming the verdict inadequate compared to the extent of the damage. And it remains to be seen how this decision by the Maritime Safety Tribunal will impact the trials of the remaining individuals responsible. All right, well, that's going to do it for News Insights with reporter 변은 샘 from 부산일보. 기수님, 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up for today. Sorry, thank you for tuning in for another week of Busan Worldwide. The nerves are still here, unfortunately. But looking back on our show today, we did have the interview with Park Sun-wook of the Community Chest of Korea's Busan branch, and he spoke about the various ways that we can donate. And hearing his interview, I did feel that I should step up my donation game, and definitely for this winter season, I will participate in the Sharing 2024 campaign. We also went through Global Busan Buzz, hearing all about what's going on here in Busan, and we had news insights with our reporter 변은 샘 from Busanilbo. And if you missed anything, then you want to listen to the show again, you can find our show on our website at befm.or.kr or on our app, BeFM app, or on Patbang. And yes, so we'll wrap it up for today. This program was produced by Pagaram, written by Pangmira, and I have been your host for today. I do want to say a quick message, though. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this entire week. I know I had my ups and downs, but I am working on it, and we'll come back fresh. We will not be here on Monday due to a documentary, not screening, but airing. But I will see you back here on Tuesday. So I hope you enjoy your weekend, everyone, and I'll see you next week. The final song is Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish.
I've been watching you for some time. Can't stop staring at those ocean eyes. Burning cities and napalm skies. 15 flares inside those ocean eyes. Your ocean eyes don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean time. He left her lonely with a diamond mine and those ocean eyes. Don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. Never falling from right to side, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. Don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. I've never fallen quite this high.
부산의 축제